The final plans for the Bronx bus redesign were published in November 2021, and while it shows many of the routes in the borough receiving improvements, there are many things the MTA missed out on, and there are still improvements to be made. I talked to many people about these proposals and took their thoughts into consideration to bring to you this video detailing what else can be done with the Bronx's bus network, and how these further improvements can help those who commute by bus in the borough. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. Before we get into things though, I would like to thank all of the members in my Discord server for helping me with this video, proposing ideas, and giving their feedback on my changes. Now, let's jump straight into things and look at the first two routes, the Bx1 and Bx2. I propose a simple change to the Bx2 line, and that is the renaming of it. The line runs along the same routing as the Bx1, and I feel like because of this, it shouldn't have its own number. I think it should be called the Bx1A. With this, I propose getting rid of the normal Bx1 route and leaving the limited route. Basically, the Bx1 would be a limited route, which would have its stops spaced further out than the Bx1A, which would be a local route. I don't think this should be much of an issue, mainly because some other lines around the city already have the A designation, like the Bx4A, M14A, and M34A. This is an idea I first heard from Parker the R46 in my Discord server, and it is to eliminate the Bx4A route and have the Bx4 run along the 4A's old routing, from the hub to Westchester Square via Metropolitan Avenue. To replace service along Westchester Avenue between Parkchester and Westchester Square, we would extend the Bx11 bus to Westchester Square. This line was just extended along 174th Street to Parkchester, which was the Bx36's original routing. With these plans, the line will see a further extension, giving commuters in the Westchester Square area a new option for getting into Manhattan. Those who live in the Parkchester area will know that the Bx4A sees much more use than the Bx4 bus. The Bx4 bus currently runs with the 6 line, which is the reason it doesn't see much use after Parkchester. I've been on the Bx4 multiple times, and it always clears up when you get close to Parkchester, while the Bx4A stays crowded. To put it simply, the 4A is the more useful route, and I think this change, coupled with more service along the line, will speed up commutes tenfold. When it comes down to the Bx5, I see two issues. One being the fact that some buses short turn at White Plains Road, and the other being that it doesn't run to Bay Plaza on weekdays. I've taken the Bx5 many times before, and I hate the short turning site at White Plains Road. I feel like it is unnecessary, especially now that the MTA plans to extend the Bx6 Select Bus service to White Plains Road. Now, instead of having the current service pattern where every other bus short turns, I propose extending every other bus to Bay Plaza. Not only would it relieve some of the congestion from the Bx12 bus, but it will also provide more frequent service for those going to Bay Plaza. This next change might be a bit of a controversial one, but whatever. I've seen complaints that there weren't any new connections implemented between the Bronx and Queens, particularly on the western side of the borough. To give the people what they want, apparently, I propose extending the Bx15 bus to Long Island City. Yep, that's it. The Bx23 is basically the laughingstock of the Bronx bus network. Everyone calls it useless, and while I don't agree with the statement that it is useless, I do think it is unnecessary to have it as its own line. This next change that I propose would see the line merged with the Q50, which under the MTA's redesign plans would only run to Co-op City during rush hours. Under my plans, however, the Q50 will run to Co-op City at all times of the day, providing people living there with direct access to Queens and LaGuardia Airport. The Bx27 is an extremely crowded line that serves an important part of the Bronx, with Soundview. It currently doesn't use articulated buses, and I plan to change that with this next change. I propose merging it with the Bx35 bus. Not only would it allow the Bx27 to use articulated buses because the Bx35 uses them and that is totally how it works, but it will also give riders living in this part of Soundview a one-seat ride into Washington Heights. Now we skip to the Bx42 bus. I propose two different changes to this line. The first one involves converting it into a select bus route. This bus line gets extremely crowded along the entire length of its route, and I think by making it a select bus route, we could make it a much faster and more reliable line. This is because of the changes that comes with converting a route into a SPS. Select bus routes tend to have longer stop spacing than local and limiteds, and they have higher frequencies. Turning the line into a select route, combined with the new bus priority improvements along Tremont Avenue, we can make the Bx42 a more frequent, reliable, and quicker route. For local service making more frequent stops, people can just take the Bx40 bus, which would stay the same. Now, I mentioned that I proposed two different changes. The second one is that we will be extending the line to the Throgs Neck Ferry Terminal. Unfortunately, this extension of the line will require new infrastructure, along with a bit of land acquisition. We would have the route run along a new road on the coastline of the East River. This road will only be accessible to buses, bikes, and pedestrians. It would require that we take some land from the adjacent golf course, but really, who cares about golf and whose idea was it to build a golf course in New York City? Now you might be asking, why do we need new infrastructure? And the answer is that without it, the Bx42 would now take an indirect route going to and from Westchester Square, and you would also be removing service along Randall Avenue. To avoid this, we're going to build a new road, as that will not only allow for the bus to take a direct route there, but it will also introduce a walkable path for people to get to the Ferry Point Park. With the M125, we have the final line we'll be altering in this video. Now, I was pretty hard on this line in the previous video. I suggested that we should just eliminate it and extend the M100 to Randall's Island. Thinking about it now though, it's not too bad of a route. It provides direct access to the east side from the west side of the borough and vice versa, and it runs into the Bronx, connecting up with key routes at 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. I'm gonna be keeping the line, and actually, I'm extending it. Under my plans, it would run to Randall's Island, replacing the M35 bus route. The M35 is unnecessary, slow, and ends on the east side. It's a simple change, but it'll improve service to Randall's Island with faster and more frequent service, and give riders a direct connection to the island from the Bronx. Other than those changes, I think all is good with the Bronx bus redesign. The only thing I didn't mention in this video is that I would like to see some bus lanes along the southern portion of White Plains Road, but other than that, the MTA's plans are nice. I like some of the changes that they made, like extending the Bx6 select bus service to White Plains, the Bx11 to Parkchester, and the Bx36 via Tremont, but I do feel like they didn't change enough. What are your thoughts on the changes I've made to the Bronx bus network? And what are your thoughts on the Bronx network redesign as a whole? Do you like the MTA's plans? Tell me in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and consider becoming a channel member.